Hi, guys. Welcome to Parawomenradio. I'm Amy. The Sarah Boone jury has finally been sent to deliberations, complete with a note penned by the one and only Sarah Blaine Boone herself. Just kidding, of course. I had to throw that in. Anyway, uh, but hey, they are in deliberations now and will be until 10 p.m. tonight. So we are officially on jury watch, on the edge of our seats, no less. While we anxiously await the jury's decision, let's take a little trip down memory lane and revisit some of Sarah's testimony and closing arguments. Oh, and let's not forget about the victim, Jorge George Torres. The poor guy who ended up meeting a rather unfortunate fate inside a suitcase thanks to our dear Sarah Boone's farm. I'm going to roll some credits while we wait for the rest of the team Blaine Boone to roll in. Shout out to my replay crew and my dragonflies. It's Friday, babies. Guys, welcome to Parawomenradio. I'm Amy.
Cavalier's drumming his old guitar again. Words rolling out into our fire. If heaven had wings, I would steal them and fly away with you for a while. Hearing the essence of gratitude, your dreamy little smile on my lips. I miss my cue, but baby, I had you. Miss my cue, but I had you for that day. Here in the blue, I'm falling deep into you.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Carolina. I have not seen you in so long. It's so good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Hi, everyone. Hi, Chris C. Hi, Heaven Lee. Hi, Hollywood. Hi, Licia. Lisa says, guilty, and she slams down her gavel. I think I am with you, and I'm going to slam down my gavel and say, guilty, guilty, guilty. And I think she should get some extra guilty for wasting all this time. Guilty. But we're waiting, and the jury will be there until 10 o'clock. I do have Law and Crime up, and they have the seal is up, and I'm just waiting. If I hear anything in the background, I will stop what we're doing and fly us over to the verdict. But while we're waiting, I thought it would be just kind of interesting to go over her testimony. I thought I was just now watching closing arguments, and I thought it would be good to go over the rebuttal of the state because I thought it was so good. It was so concise, and it laid out the case really well. And I was watching it over on another channel, and there was a lawyer there, and I kind of saved some bits and pieces of what they were talking about, and they thought it was a really good rebuttal. Not so much, he didn't say much about the closing argument itself, but the rebuttal was really good. To do that rebuttal on the fly, I thought was really good too. But at the end, he said that he felt like when they were talking about did they help or harm, they thought maybe Sarah's lawyer harmed a bit, but the rebuttal was just like chef's kiss. So, and the state, the state, I was just thinking they must have some people in Orlando that are just like really good with their comebacks, because the state was really good with their comebacks. And one of my favorite ones was when Sarah got on the stand and he gets her up there and he's like, because everybody was pretty shocked when you saw how small George was, right? George being, I guess now we found out it was supposed to be her fiance. He's been elevated from boyfriend, but at any rate, her victim. Was so small. And he says to her, he says, you used to weigh 98 pounds, correct? Or at the time of the, something like at the time of the offense, you weighed 98 pounds. And she's like, yes. And he says something like, and it's safe to say you've gained weight, correct? Sarah, Sarah Boone's hair. Well, yes. But I just thought that was like, they're very good at their slams. And so I thought it would be fun to kind of look at the rebuttal a little bit as well, because I just thought it was really good. Yeah, Mr. J, brilliant. He was really good. And so and of course, Sarah sitting up on the stand, it was really good too. One of my favorite parts was when she came up with her, her little skirt on, and so we could see her unchained, unshackled ankles, and she showed us that suitcase. And it was terrifying to see how small that suitcase actually was, because you can see how small it is in that horrific video, but to see it in the courtroom, it really put some things together for me. So I'm going to get my screen together and we're going to get going. What did you guys all think about the closing statements? Did you like it? Did you feel like it was lacking? Did you need more? Did you just need less? The lawyer also thought it was like bad business to go on and on a Friday night doing your closing arguments, because all the jury was hearing was wah, 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 wah. Especially the alternates. I'm sure they didn't hear much of anything. So I don't know. But I guess it is, and they've also thought it was bad business to send a jury away to think about it over the weekend. But that happened in another case recently. Was it the Lori Daybell case? That happened recently too, where they went away and they had a whole weekend to think about it. Oh, that's a good point, Chris. Chris C says the way she treated him in the other videos and texts reminds me of Depp v. Heard. Yeah, that's a good point. Me too. Now that you say that. Okay, so, and it's interesting too, because that was a domestic, at the heart of it, they were both kind of abusing each other. It was a lot of like the War of the Roses, in my opinion. Like, there was no reason. She wasn't depending on him for anything. She was paying for everything and running everything. And I mean, and he could have left, but he would have had to go home to his mother. And so I think that's why he stayed. And I mean, he was a full-blown alcoholic, and her too. And that substances don't mix with domestic. And yeah. But her black eye was intense, and I was watching Surviving the Survivor, and he's in the courtroom, and he was saying that there is one of the jurors is a DV survivor. I didn't get if it was a man or a woman, but so I'll just refer to him as they. And he said that they were very intense, that sometimes the other jurors would crack a smile, but this juror never did. And so that could mean that's one of two things: that they believe her and they think it's no laughing matter, or they don't believe her and they think it's a bunch of BS that she's trying to use this thing to her advantage. I did want to talk about, I was unsure of, let me look at what I'm doing real quick. No, that's not what I want. Hold on one second, you guys. Yeah, no, this is, I was looking to try to find out, because I know I wasn't watching it closely this week, off and on. I had to like turn it off because of my migraines. But I was unaware that just before they went to trial that they agreed that they would add some other things other than just second degree murder charges. But even with those being added, she faces at the minimum of 22 and a half years. So she was offered 15 years, but if they find her guilty of anything, like if they find her not guilty, then she's off free. You know, she just served those 5 years in the county jail. But if they find her of any kind of guilty, any of the forms of guilt, the minimum will be 22 and a half years. And I had it all up and saved and ready to go. But I'm sure you believe me, right? I'm sure I'll find it in our, oh wait, there it is. There it is right there. So the jury began, this was just updated just a few minutes ago. The jury started deliberating, this is Newsweek, in the murder trial of Sarah Boone on Friday evening after closing arguments wrapped up. Boone, 46, is charged with second degree murder in the 2020 death. And there was another page that put in the other charges, but it's one of those ones that you have to disable your ad blocker, and I disabled my ad blocker, and then it comes back with, well, you need to give us your email, and I'm not going to do that because then it'll come back with that I need to buy a subscription. It just keeps they just get worse and worse. So but here she faces a minimum of 22 and a half years in prison and a potential life sentence if convicted. Yeah. So what do you guys want to look at first? Are you feeling like you want to look at George? There was an interview that was done with George, the victim, with his family, and we have that. I also found unmasked Jorge Torres before and after Sarah Boone that I wanted to look at. But we also have the closing rebuttal by the state. And I also have, and we're probably not going to get to all of this, but I want you guys to choose and tell me what you want to watch. And we also have her testimony. So what do you want to get started with first? Let me see what you guys are saying. Oh, you want to look at his obituary? And we have his obituary. Hi, Tony. Relationships with substance abuse. Relationships and substance abuse do not work out. No, they never do. And too many times I'm like this. Yeah. Oh, hold on. My nose is itching. I was cleaning out Maybelline's stuff today and her hair is flying all over the apartment. And I have to say, I don't miss the hair, all the dog hair. I do not miss that. But I would take piles and boatloads of dog hair if I could have her back. So okay, let's start with his obituary. Let me pull that up. Make sure you're seeing it. So here is Jorge's obituary, February 13th, 1978 to February 24th, 2020. The family of Jorge Torres Jr. created this Life Tributes page to make it easy to share your memories. So they had the obituary and service. Let me just make sure you're seeing it. You are, okay. Obituary for Jorge Torres Jr. Jorge Torres Jr., 42, of Orlando, Florida, passed away Monday, February 24th, 2020. He was born on February 13th. He was almost a Valentine's Day baby. 1978 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. George is survived by his parents. I don't know. They call him Jorge and George. So I'm just gonna kind of go back and forth. Jorge Torres Sr. and Bianca Torres, daughter Anna Victoria Torres, son Jorge Torres III. Oh, wow. So there was more than one Jorge. That's interesting. Daughter Destiny. Actually, you know, my aunt, when growing up, my Aunt Jane lived on this street where they named all of their kids Dolly Borka, even the boys. But there was like a minor inflection at the end, but they were all Dolly Borkas. So that might be something that, you know, families do, obviously. So there's a lot of siblings here. Wow, he had a lot of siblings. How many siblings is that? 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, I'm getting into the daughters. Okay, I'm sorry. Daughter Destiny Mia Torres, brother Victor Manuel Valentin, sister Maria Trim, sister Aurora Torres, brother Jorge Torres, brother Juan. No, I'm confused. Okay, so then it goes into the daughter, brother, sister. We must be just hopping around. But that's a lot of siblings, right? At least 10. I don't know. There will be a viewing for friends on Monday, March 2nd, 2020 from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Good Life Funeral Home located in. And so let's see. If there's any photos and videos. Not a lot of photos and videos. Just ones that we've all seen, and maybe this is where we all got this photo from. But there's this one. I will say this: he has a large presence, and oh, there's another one. A large presence in his photos, because I would have never thought that he's as small as he is. Even though, like, looking at him now, I can see he's pretty small, but never really dawned on me. It also never dawned on me when they said a bottle of wine that they meant mega pint of wine. Like that should be a thing now. You shouldn't be able to call mega pints bottles of wine, because I really thought it was a bottle of wine. So let's see if anyone wrote on the tribute wall. 2 friends sent flowers to the family. Jay lit a candle in memory. Jorge, you will get your justice one way or another. Can't believe you're treated this way. Much love coming your way. Oh, that was only 17 hours ago. This must be all of us writing on there. Yeah. I feel so horrible for this family. I heard that they sat in the front row the whole time. I can't even imagine. Let me see if there's anything more towards the time of his funeral. I give life, I take life. Nobody has the right to take a person's life. Allah. I didn't know George, but my prayers and my hearts go out to your whole families. Sabina. Yeah. So here is the tribute. Did I miss anything up here? Let's see. Do they have anything under their family tree, or will this take me to? Ah. Okay, so that is the tribute for their son. Did you guys know he had so many siblings? I didn't. And
from 2.
Here we have Jorge's family's. They did an interview with Court TV. Be sure to give this live a thumbs up, guys. Helps me dance out into the algorithm. Party out there. Bring more people back to the party. It's just a free way to help me out, and it's really, really appreciated. And if you really like my content, be sure to click that subscribe button. And if you do that, then you have to do the whole bell thing, and that just, helps you know when we go live. And we go live on Sunday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 8 p.m.
Very special voices for the victim in the Suitcase Murder Trial for Jorge Torres. Prosecutors say that he was murdered by his longtime girlfriend, Sarah Boone, who had him trapped inside of a suitcase, beat him, and left him to die. The defense is saying that Sarah Boone was acting in self-defense. Now, Jorge Torres' family is speaking out this morning, saying that he's being unfairly depicted as an abuser and that it was Sarah Boone who was the real aggressor. Now, since early in this case, we've seen evidence of Boone's problems with Torres' family.
To know what we're here, what we're investigating, and that they're going to think I killed him.
Why would they think that?
They always have said that. They've always have said that.
What have they
I told you it's because I'm the blue-eyed white dragon. That's what they call me. Because they don't want him with me. So he's basically just not really been around his family because he chooses me over them.
I want to welcome in our special guest now. We have Jorge Torres' oldest daughter, Ana Victoria Torres, with us. We also have Dolores Ortiz with us, who is Jorge Torres' first wife, and she also brought with her this morning her youngest daughter, Destiny. First of all, my heart goes out to all of you, and for all of us here at Court TV, we are so sorry for your loss. Thank you for coming on the show, and I know that you really want to clear the air. And Ana Victoria, I know you've wanted to kind of be the family spokesperson, so I want to start with you, please.
One other thing that I didn't realize was that he had such older, I think they were like, his daughter's like 30, and I didn't realize that he had kids that were in their 30s.
The way that your dad has been depicted as being an abuser in this trial, I know that it has upset you and you felt it's very unfair. Tell us why.
Story, and unfortunately, we are the voices now, and
the way the trial has gone and the way
I'm
things
sorry, I just have to stop. She looks just like her dad, does she not? Look at that face. Just like her dad. Beautiful.
have taken place have
Just like him.
nobody has ever contacted us to hear our story or asked us questions in regards to our father, his character, or
I
the relationship.
wondered why the family hadn't come forward, and she's saying that nobody contacted them. Ugh. I really thought the family was waiting till after the verdict to give their interviews.
Between him and Sarah Boone. Me and my siblings actually spoke to our father that night. And we have a lot of experiences with Ms. Boone that do not speak to what the media is stating she is, a victim or a gentle individual. I'm sure she's loved over there at jail due to the fact that Sarah Boone is very, very calculated. She by no means is a kind and sweet, soft-spoken woman. She is very calculated, very devious, very conniving. My father...
We all know she's not soft-spoken because we've seen Sarah Boone over these 5 years. And that is why I purposely put soft-spoken Sarah Boone, because I almost fell off my seat when I saw that Newsweek was reporting her as that. So I was like, man, I got to run with that one.
Was sheltered and berated. He was kept from us. He was the real victim in this situation. Unfortunately, again, as stated, he is not here to tell his story, but we are here to give his side the best we can from the view that we were able to see things.
Sure. Anna Victoria, in one of the videos that we've all seen, Sarah Boone told police that George's family didn't like her and that they referred to her as the blue-eyed white dragon. Would you talk about where that nickname came from, and if it's true that you all didn't like her, and in particular, why?
I can definitely answer that. As far as the nickname is concerned, that was created all through Sarah's little brain. Other than that, she was definitely correct as far as us not liking her, and she should have stated that she didn't like us either, because that is very much correct as well. She, like I stated, is very evil, and what she is acting out there on the stand and within that courtroom is baffling to me, because that is not the real Sarah Boone at all. But yeah, she was correct. We don't like her. We didn't like her. That would never change. Unfortunately, I do feel bad for her and I wish her the best. But what I do wish is that my father receives his justice and she gets the time that she deserves. And a slap on the wrist is not it. Other than that, as far as a relationship with Sarah, one that was a good one, there wasn't one. We tried. We definitely tried, but she did not.
And Victoria, thank you for sharing all of that. I want to go to your mom now. Dolores, you were married to George for 14 years. I have 3 beautiful children with him, 2 of them here with us today, Destiny and Anna Victoria. We understand that at one point, Sarah Boone tried to fight you. Tell us about that.
Not per se fight me, because we've only, I want to say that we've had one engagement, which was for my children's birthday party that they attended later in the evening. So I really have never had like a confrontation. It was verbal over the phone. She had threatened me a couple times to come over and that she would dust her doormat for myself and my daughters. But it was basically verbal threats that she would give every time that George would call his children, any chance that he had, that he was able to call his children to speak, and I was present. It was a problem for George. She was very much jealous of me for what reason I'm not aware of, but we never had physical altercations.
Well, and that's a very good thing. Tell us, Dolores, during your marriage to George, was he ever violent with you or any of your kids?
He was never violent with my children. We would have normal husband and wife family spats here and there, but never to the point where police were ever involved, DHS was ever involved. We were never that type of family. I can't relate to Sarah and the abuse that she so-called claims that she's received from George, because I never received abuse like that. I want to say the only thing that I can say about George is that he was a ladies' man.
Gotcha. Okay. And so just
she's saying he cheated on her, but didn't abuse her in that way. So I will put the link for everything that we read and view and watch during this live. I will often speed it up, talk over it. I put the link for everything down in the show notes over on YouTube. Today we're coming to you on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Hi, everyone. And yeah, so I do this for fair play use, and let's keep going. I thought this was really interesting in Reddit. Unmasked Jorge Torres before and after Sarah Boone.
Jorge Torres Jr. made national news in 2020 with his sudden death in such a tragic way. But really, there hasn't been much information about Jorge and who he was before Sarah Boone. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into his life and what we know about him and his family. Jorge Torres Jr. was born February 13th, 1978 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. His parents, Blanca and Jorge, had 10 children.
10.
So Jorge
I knew there was
had
a lot of
9
them.
siblings. Victor, Maria, Aurora, Jose, Juan, Moses, Pharrell, Ezekiel, and Victoria. Remember some of their names because one in particular is going to make a major twist in this story. As far as I can tell, the family would live a very good chunk of their life in Philadelphia. And it was there where Jorge met Camille. They spent many years together. I would say at the very least 8 years together. They got married and they had 3 beautiful children. Anna Victoria, Jorge III, and Destiny Maya. And guys, I did my digging. Everything I went through, there was not one domestic case between him and Camille. And now I'm not saying that that never happened. I haven't heard any allegations that anything has happened between.
She has just said that there was no domestic, there was no child protective services. There was just none of that. That the only thing that he did do was he was a ladies' man, which means he cheated.
Them. But when I see their pictures and see their social media accounts, they both posted so much about family and love and just really seemed happy together, happy with their family, happy with their life. Jorge at the time even really didn't have anything on his criminal record. The only thing that I could find in Philadelphia was a DUI, but his DUI records show that his address was Florida. So that was even from later on, not when he was living in Philadelphia still. So in early 2016, Jorge was still in Philadelphia with Camille. We know that they had separated in between 2016 and 2017. With the separation and the change of location, Jorge was pretty active on social media, letting people know that he had a job in Florida, working at Ace, and even still posting family photos of his kids and his mom, and just trying to still keep up with everybody on social media. And in the beginning half of 2017, he would start posting more sensitive posts just about relationships or sayings and quotes. And he seemingly really wanted to find a new partner and was lonely, which is understandable. However, there was one post that really caught my eye, and it really is a major foreshadow knowing what we know now happened to him. Dear Bae, we're too old for hide and go seek. Where are you at? I read that and a dagger went through my heart.
Oh my gosh, that like took my breath away. It's always really creepy when you see things like this after something tragic. I don't know. Is it foreshadowing? Is it just coincidence? What is it?
Art. It's just so crazy that that would be what Sarah claims they were doing when he died. I think because he was single, putting these quotes on social media, along with his own drawings posting on social media, it allowed for people to get to know him a little bit more. And although by summer 2017, he was still single, his kids actually got to come and be with him, and he took them to Universal Studios. Besides him posting about them all the time and saying how much he missed them, you can see it in his eyes in these photos with his kids. There's so much love for them, and he really was a big family man. So I'm not sure if before Florida or during Florida, but we do know that he had a drinking problem. Him and Sarah Boone met at a local bar, and that is how they began the relationship. Jorge, still ever present on social media, posted that he was in a relationship with Sarah on October 20th, 2017. And I want to say that the early stages of the
I
relationship.
did in doing some research today. Jorge lived in Florida, and his whole family like pretty much lives in like his brothers and sisters, and a lot of them live in Florida. I think even his parents live in Florida. So it's only his kids, a few of his kids, well, maybe both of his kids that are back in Philadelphia. So he's, even though, you know, it said that his address was Florida and he was back in New York, he probably was in Florida living with his parents at the time, because when he wasn't living with Sarah, he was living with his mom and dad, or his mom.
He seemed genuinely happy. He made a post on October 25th, so not soon after he had posted that they were officially together. He said, "To whom it may concern, my ship has come in and it's fully booked with love. I am no longer the owner of a lonely heart." Still posting his art, in February 28th, 2018, he posted his newest drawing, a character that he made, and that he had named Reggie. And according to the post, Sarah Boone was the one who came up with the name. But unfortunately, just months after that, some of their turmoil would spill over onto social media. So who knows how the relationship really was when it first started, and if there was even any happy few months together. One in particular really caught my eye. He was so big on posting quotes that I think he must have posted a picture that had quotes and tagged her name in it. And you can't see the picture anymore. You can just see he had tagged her name. And she left 3 pretty mean comments under the text. The first one read, "You don't have to be new age to want to be taken care of and not treated like a housewife. It's 2018, not 1950. Maybe if you had your own woman feel good and make her happy, you'd get farther and more. Stop posting stupid shit, hoping you'll get pats on the back. There's more women on the planet, and we will all feel the same about dumbass men like you." That was almost 5 months to when they just first started dating. Not even 5 months.
Oh my
And that
gosh.
was spilling over with hatred in a very public way. That is the only thing that I have seen up until that point on any of his social media accounts with anyone, that anything like that was ever said, or people talking meanly to each other. And it's
The
pretty
verdict is
surprising.
in?
It's not surprising that it's coming from Sarah Boone, but with how he has seemingly conducted himself with family and friends, it's surprising that he and Sarah started.
Let me pop over there. It's still just on the okay. We will see. The judge has not made it to the stand yet. So yeah, I'll keep this up and we'll keep going on this. The verdict is apparently in, but the judge isn't. They're not in the courtroom yet. I'm sure they're coming now, I'm sure. Oh wait, is it the Karen Reed? What is this? No, it is. They're talking about Sarah Boone. Okay, so while we're waiting for them to come back, we'll just keep doing this one. I've got so much up tonight. Isn't this weird? I thought that it would be really wild if they came back during the show, and yeah, the jury was not hearing most of what was being said, I'm sure, and I am positive they found her guilty. Like, it just, to what extent of the guilt, right? What do you guys think? What do you think the extent of the guilt is? Do you think it's like going to be first degree, second degree? What was it? I really couldn't see. It was diminished something. Well, I'm sure they'll tell us when they come back, but there was like 4 things that they could pick from. But ultimately, the lowest amount of sentencing she can get. Oh, and I wonder if the judge is just going to sentence her tonight. Ooh, that would be good. That would be very satisfying to go into the weekend knowing how long Sarah Boone will have in prison. Am I right? Very satisfying.
Relationship, and they seem to be very different people. So July 25th, 2018 is the first time that Sarah Boone called the police on Jorge Torres. It is his first time ever being arrested for a domestic issue.
Together for a year and a half, and he's going through a whole bunch of shit. Pardon me for saying that.
No. Go ahead.
Pardon me for saying that, but like, oh man, he let loose on my ass tonight, and I'm not having it.
Okay. All right.
I got kicked in the face. Okay. Kicked in the face.
That you know of, there's no guns,
No,
anything in there.
ma'am,
Okay.
no. I know, babies. You guys are doing your job.
All right,
No.
Sarah here.
Yes.
I can't stand when she calls people baby.
I swear to God, there's nothing you guys should be afraid of.
What's his name?
George.
George. All right.
There's nothing you guys should be afraid of. I swear to God, I'm done with his attitude. He beat the fuck out of me tonight. And I'm done with it. I have to go to work tomorrow.
What's up, George? You want to talk to us? Go inside. Talk to you inside.
You see my eye?
I do see your eye.
Fucking face.
Okay, tell me how it all went down from beginning to.
Yes, my love.
Okay.
Okay, so we were having a really good day, and we went across the street to Muldoon's, and everything was good and fine and dandy, and because I talked to another guy because he left, came in there, and I got so mad, because I asked for a cigarette from another guy because he took my license, my debit card, and everything. Cigarettes, everything. Took everything.
Okay.
So I asked.
Do you not believe that Sarah Boone is, I 100% think Sarah Boone is one of those people that loves to make people that she's dating jealous. I'm sure the verdict is in. We are waiting for the judge to come back on the stand. I have the window open. It's still just the seal. And while we're waiting, we're looking at Jorge Torres's life.
I asked someone for a cigarette,
Mm-hmm.
and it happened to be a guy. So he walked in and got super pissed because I asked for a cigarette from another guy. I came home. Mind you, my car is across the street still.
Okay. So you get home. You go inside.
Oh, man. Let loose. Mm-mm.
Okay. Elaborate. So you open the door. What happens from there?
I'm a whore.
He starts calling you names. Okay.
When I say ragdoll, do you know what that is?
I know what a ragdoll is.
Oh, man. I was ragdolled.
Okay. But I need you.
In the face.
Okay, I need you to elaborate. Like, you walk into the house. Did you start arguing? He started calling you names. He said he was.
No, I walked out. I walked in and I walked to the back. I just wanted to smoke a cigarette and just go to sleep. I just literally wanted to I'm smoking a cigarette. I'm gonna go to sleep.
And then as you're making your way to the back, what happened?
I got caught on the stairwell.
You got caught on the stairwell. So he caught you on the stairwell. And what did he get in front of you? Started confronting you, telling you anything? What happened?
It was bad.
Okay. Elaborate, Miss Sarah. I need you to tell me exactly what happened so I can help you.
My heart is like, I don't want him to get in trouble, but fuck, I'm tired of being beaten up.
Okay. I understand. I'm trying to help you out, but
I know
you
are.
I need you to elaborate.
So we're going to skip forward. If you want to see more of this, I have this entire video in the Sarah Boone playlist. This was one of the arrests. There's a few of them that I have on there. There's one where they were both arrested. I think this was one where, I don't remember if this is the one where they both got arrested, but I have it in the playlist for you.
Want to watch that side?
Friendly conversation. They're going to speak to things outside a little bit. Junior Torres Jr., right? Or
Jorge Jr.
Yeah, Jorge Torres Jr.
Morning, man.
Hey,
Can we talk to Jorge Jr.?
No, he's working.
Okay.
He's working?
Yeah.
Okay, so this must be at his mother's house.
That's Aloma. I think you go this way and you go to Aloma.
Okay.
That's the Ace there.
Oh, he works at Ace Hardware.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we're just here to speak to him about something that possibly happened yesterday.
In the police report, they say why they went to Jorge's parents' house. They couldn't locate him, and they ended up not being able to find him at Ace either.
So he's at work right now.
Yeah.
We just want to have a chit chat with him. That's all. That's where he's at right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to let you know he's an alcoholic.
Is he? Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I definitely
And the
think
lady
he's
that
going to
got in
get
trouble,
25
she
to 30 years to life.
He's ID, and she don't want to give it to him for a long time.
Okay.
He got everything.
Because he was just arrested, wasn't he?
Yeah,
But you know what? That's better than
arguing with her.
Yeah,
for
something like that.
15.
Okay. Yeah, we just need to speak. We
Should've
just wanted to
taken
speak about something real quick.
15.
If he's at work, we'll have a chit chat with him at work, and we'll go from there. So, okay, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay,
Sorry to bother you.
Because then she would have been out in like 8 years. They're still not back on the stand or in the courtroom. We are watching some past arrests of Jorge and Sarah, going over George's life. While we wait. And seeing all the photos of her apartment, it looked like a kind of a cute townhouse.
So we guess you called for a reason, right?
I mean, Brian was paying for it, but yeah.
Yeah, but you do realize he's here, though, right? Have you been?
See, she thinks she's so cute. She's drunk and she thinks she's cute.
I did ring.
But the neighbors did say she was in your face kind of drunk.
Like, you know, I have my gun.
Okay, well, disappeared in different directions from one of the area check, one of the Hispanic males. Had tattoos all over him, no shirt, gray pants.
Yeah, I have to. He's here.
Other one, tattoos.
Yeah, you can stay right here. You can stay right here. He doesn't know how to. He doesn't know how to.
Another black male, no prescription, RQA.
Okay, they're back on the record.
State. William J. for the state.
Defense.
James Owens for the Spoon. Kevin Beck for Sarah. Mr. Henderson's not going to be here.
Okay, all right. Ms. Boone is seated at counsel's table, wearing the same clothing from this morning. Yes, Mr. Beck.
The judge, they've got her in chains, and they've got her in the ankle handcuffs, so she can't go anywhere. I'm just asking.
He still wants her chains off?
The jury coming in, I'm asking if there's any way we can take off the handcuffs and the waist chain so that the jury wouldn't see it in case there's something wrong with the verdict form or, there's an issue, which sometimes happens, but that's my position.
Okay. I've been advised by the sheriff that during the reading of the verdict, due to Ms. Boone's status as an inmate, their leg irons and the cuffs are to be attached.
Well, she's going to stay seated.
That's fine.
Mr. Beck's going to stay seated.
I would ask for us all to remain seated, and could you remind everybody in the gallery that there should be no emotional reactions?
I was just about to address that, sir. Thank you very much. All right, members of the jury, my understanding, or members of the gallery, good evening. My understanding is that the jury in this matter has reached a verdict. I don't know what it's going to be until it's read. If you are unable to contain yourself emotionally and you're going to react in any way, be it in joy or in sadness, I'm going to ask you politely to excuse yourself at this time. There cannot be any emotional outbursts when the verdict is read. Does everybody understand that? I see everybody nodding their heads. Okay. All right. State, are we ready to bring in our jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, are we ready to bring in our jury?
Yes, Judge.
All right, let's go ahead and bring in our jury. Everyone will remain seated.
So don't get up, Heavenly. I think it's funny how they came to an agreement that everybody was going to stay seated. Nobody get up. I've never heard that in a deliberate, like before a verdict is read. Nobody get up for when the jury comes in. If Sarah's not getting up, nobody's getting up. Sarah's putting on a smile. I actually feel bad.
State, do you recognize our jury?
Going to be found guilty.
Defense, do you recognize our jury? Members of the jury, you may be seated. Thank you. Members of our jury, good evening. I understand that you've come to a verdict in this case.
Yes.
If you could please hand the verdict form to the deputy, please. Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk, if you could please publish the verdict.
In the Circuit Court of the 9th Judicial Circuit in Orange County, Florida, case number 2020 CF 2603, the state of Florida versus Sarah Boone. The verdict: we, the jury, find the defendant guilty of murder in the second degree as charged in the information. So say we all, dated at Orlando, Orange County, Florida, on this 25th day of October 2024. The form has been signed by the full person.
Madam Clerk, please poll our jury.
Juror seat number 1, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes, it is.
Juror seat number 2, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes, it is.
Juror seat number 3, is this your true and correct verdict? Juror seat number 4, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror seat number 5, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror seat number 6, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Members of our jury, again, I want to thank you for your time, your sacrifice, and your attention in this matter. I know that we spent almost 2 weeks together, and it was not taken lightly, and I really appreciate the time and the effort and the sacrifice that you put into this case. I want to advise you now of your final instruction. Members, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to thank you for your time and your consideration in this case. I also wish to advise you of some very special privileges enjoyed by jurors. No juror can ever be required to talk about the discussions that occurred in the jury room except by court order. For many centuries, our society has relied upon juries for consideration of difficult cases. We have recognized for hundreds of years that a jury's deliberations, discussions, and votes should remain their private affair as long as they wish it. Therefore, the law gives you a unique privilege not to speak about the jury's work. Although you are at liberty to speak to anyone about your deliberations, you are also at liberty to refuse to speak to anyone. A request to discuss either your verdict or your deliberations may come from those who are simply curious, from those who might seek to find fault with you, from the media, from the attorneys, or elsewhere. It will be up to you to decide whether to preserve your privacy as a juror. With that, members of the jury, again, I thank you for your service. I'm going to ask you to return to the deliberation room. I'll be back there shortly with your jury certificates, and thank you.
Go ahead.
I mean,
Ms.
how
Boone,
could she
the
not
jury has
know?
spoken in this matter and has found you guilty of murder in the second degree. The court adjudicates you guilty of murder in the second degree. As this is your first felony conviction, you are entitled to a pre-sentencing investigation by the Department of Corrections. Mr. Owens, are you seeking that in this case?
Yes.
Okay. State, I will order the Department of Corrections to prepare the pre-sentencing investigation. State, for the purposes of sentencing, do you anticipate eliciting any testimony from, be it the victim's family?
I hope so.
2 or 3 victim impact statements, sir.
Okay. Mr. Owens, do you plan on presenting any evidence during the course of the sentencing hearing, sir?
Probably some testimony from Dr. Harper.
Okay. All right. How long do you think, State, that you would need?
You mean timing wise, or are we thinking
A quantum of time, sir. Yeah, well, normally it takes about 30 days or so. I'm confirming with Anita as to availability. I just want to know from your side of the ledger, how much time? Okay, 15 minutes. How much time do you think you're going to need to produce anything from your side of the ledger, sir? Mr. Owens?
I'd say 30 minutes.
Okay.
30 to 45.
So if we set this for an hour, that would be sufficient.
Party agreed.
Okay.
State agrees.
Is that sufficient, Mr. Owens?
So sentencing is going to
Okay.
be an
All right, give me a
hour
moment.
long in about 30 days, is what I'm gathering. Sarah's probably terrified because I know she's like the big queen on the Orlando prison jail block, or not prison, jail block. And now she's got to go to wherever they send them in Florida, it's Broward County maybe, to their jails. And I watched Christina Randall talk about how awful Florida jails are. That would have been another reason for me to take the 15 years, because like she said that she used to, and this was in like a dorm setting, she used to have to sleep with a sheet over her head because of all the flies. Like all the flies are going to be landing on Sarah Boone. She'll get her ass beat in a heartbeat. But you can see, we saw that Sarah Boone has the ability to control herself. And I think people are a lot different once they get off of alcohol and substances for long periods of time. So Sarah Boone could be a different person for all we know.
We can set this matter for 1:30 in the afternoon for sentencing on December 2. State, is that acceptable?
I'd be terrified too. I know a lot about myself, and I know
I have a status here, but
I can't go to prison.
I can move it to later if necessary.
I'm co-counsel on it.
Okay. Defense.
Give me 1 minute.
Yes, sir.
That's Monday, December 2 at 1:30.
Yes, sir.
I can be here.
It sounds like it's
Ma'am, you've been adjudicated guilty. I now remand you into the custody of the Orange County Jail pending sentencing on December 2 at 1:30. State, anything else we need to address?
They are probably cheering in.
Defense. All right, thank you very much. We're off the record.
Yeah, I'm sure Sarah's a different person than what she was. And you know, he's not going to send her away for life, but she's going to get at least 25 years because she was offered 15. I think she's going to get at least 25. But she can get 22 and a half is the least amount she can get, and life is the most. Sarah Boone's not going to be in there for the rest of her life. But so let me pop us over and try to go over to Court TV or something and get some legal analysis on what they're saying. It'll be, let's go over to Emily D. Baker for a little bit.
Came back about an hour and a half, guilty on second-degree murder, which was the main charge here. And I think this jury felt pretty strongly about it based on all of that. So with that, the state had offered her a manslaughter for a maximum of 15 years. The max on manslaughter is 15 years, so a max plea deal. And well, that's the end of that feed. They're like, yep, we're out. No. Give me 1 second. I imagine another feed.
And they kept coming back being like, Sarah, are you sure you're happy with what's going down? Like he even did this before they went, like when the jury was sent off, he was like, Sarah, are you sure you're happy? And she's like, yep, I'm happy.
Running. Hold on. The way I feel attacked by that feed just noping right out. Absolutely attacked by the feed too. Just ending on us unceremoniously. Hold on. I know there are other feeds. Let me just go grab it from Court TV. A lot of the feeds have tickers on the bottom, and that is not my favorite, but tickers are better than advertisements. So, you know, we will take that because I do want to rewind and hear what that juror had to
Okay.
say. So thank you for your patience as we switch back to live court now. I appreciate you, law nerds. So there we go. Back in live court. But I do want to, I was like, damn it, I wanted to rewind. It's so aggressive.
I'm just hoping she'll break some things
Also,
down
she
for
wants to
us.
talk to her attorney and is sitting there talking to her attorney. So
I think she has a
that
huge
is
crush on her
what
attorney.
is going on. So
Right. Well, she's not. Let me see if I can find.
all right. Oh, the tickers. I cannot. Miguelina, if you oh, thank you. Thank you, Miguelina. I appreciate it. No tickers. Yay. But Sarah Boone is being let out, so I will rewind this real quick. Oh, nope. They're going to are they going to fingerprint her before she's let out? Yes, they are. All right. We're going to switch feeds real quick cuz I literally can't. And we will stay on the feed. Thank you, Miguelina, for grabbing that. I appreciate it. So thank you. And thank you, chat, for being like, yeah, we get it. Sometimes we need to.
Great. Let's
I'm not even well
over to
seasoned. I
Swing
wouldn't.
Bella.
How do I want to put this? I would never be physical again in my life or allow somebody near my physical body. Get the fuck away from me. I was married 37 years. Don't touch me. There's nothing pleasurable in you telling me I'm attractive or buying me dinner. I can do all that shit myself. Thank you so much. No, this is the problem with me. I'm just like, look, I'm sweating now. I'm having sweats. Oh, I turned the air off. That's why I'm having sweats.
Oh, wait. Here's
anyway, yeah,
Is
no,
he there?
absolutely. I wouldn't let them touch me. Don't touch my hand. Don't fucking grab me and tell me I can help. Get away from me. Back up. Back up. Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely not. I will die alone without a single man.
With a smile so sly, she whispered.
Let's go over to this Legal Voices and see if they are saying anything. And if I can't find a channel, I'm going to be mad.
Court TV saying verdict is in.
I'm confirming with Anita as to availability. I just want to know, remand you into the custody.
First number that popped into my head. I would guess 40 years, but that's just who knows?
He's saying 40.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's the deal. Stick with us for just a few more minutes. 15 minutes from now, we are going live with my next stream, which is the F It Friday. It's fucking Friday. We'd say fuck it, and we have a great panel of guests lined up. We're going to be doing a fickle wheel of fate and fortune for F It Friday, where we spin the wheel. Every $100 that comes in, we spin the wheel and we do whatever it says. There's rewards and punishments and fun stuff, so don't miss that. We're going to go over there live, but let me send us away with the Sarah Boone song here. I need to set that up real quick. That will play us out. Let's see here. Thank you so much, Tie Sticks, for that. I said I have no idea what it'll be. That was just me pulling a number out of the air. Let's see.
I don't want to hear this song,
What's
and
going
then
on?
I'm just going to take us back to.
I
our
was
original
not expecting them to come back quite that soon. I thought because they thank you very much for helping me get to that milestone during this court.
A tight dark space. Jorge was laughing, but his breath was thin. The walls were closing in as the fear kicked in.
Okay, let's go back and get ourselves back on track. Moving forward from watching what Jorge, his past life, let's go into watching a little bit of Sarah Boone's testimony. Make sure you're seeing. There's music, and I don't know where the music is coming from. Yes, I found it. So this was when Sarah Boone came down from the stand and they pulled out the suitcase. This is the outfit that Sarah Boone thought. She was so worried about her outfits, was she not? And her shoes. I mean, I think the fact that it's so hard to unzip
All right. Ms.
says
Boone,
so much
can
about
you demonstrate for the jury
the
where
trauma
Mr.
that man
Torres'
went
head
through.
was and how his body was positioned in the suitcase, if you don't mind?
Look how pasty white she is.
All right, and then is it fair to say his feet are kind of down here, which would be the front left corner from their perspective in the jury box?
Yes,
And then his knees are kind of tucked up towards his face.
if I remember correctly, yes, that's the position.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
a pasty white
Can you help
person
me
too, but moving to
understand
Florida
how it
kind of
was
changed that for me.
that you zipped
You can tell she's not been
his
getting
shut?
any
Can you show us
sunlight
where
on
you
her
say he
leg.
left an opening that his hand got out of?
Would it be easier to put it on here?
I didn't want to make you go down there. You're
I
happy
know,
doing that,
and then
I'll let you.
she hit him with a ball bat. I mean, that was just like the cherry for me.
Yes. Agreed. If she's going to be manipulating it.
I don't wish pain on people, but Sarah Boone needs some time away, and she needs more than 15 years because she was offered 15 years. And I thought that was very fair. 15 years wasn't even what she deserved. She deserves 30 or more. Wait, how old will she be? She's like 40 now, 40, 42 or something. So she'll be in her 70s now. She could have been in her
Just demonstrate how she zipped it shut.
50s.
Okay, well, where's the paperclip?
She's even being bossy up.
Put it in.
First of all, before I can do that,
This side.
if I truly loved someone and I knew that my actions made someone die in that suitcase right in front of me, I'm not sure I could just stand there. Also, I have to say this. You know those faces she makes? It's hard for me to watch that because my mom makes those faces and it just triggers me. It triggers
Just
me.
paperclip was on.
And if
when
you
this
make the
event occurred.
faces, I know that
When
you
we
don't,
pulled
you're not
suitcase
meaning to
out
make them.
earlier,
It's
the
just,
paperclip was not attached. So now the prosecutor's attached the paperclip. We don't know if that's the way it was attached.
It's not even a paperclip.
We don't know if that's the proper way that it was attached. But he's asking her now to pull.
Is there an objection?
Yes?
Approach.
it's Sarah Boone's objection. How could I possibly do it? Oh, Sarah, Sarah, Sarah. You rolled the dice. You wanted your glamour shots. You wanted the world. You wanted your fans to see this. And we saw it. And now you're guilty as sin. Would you guys say that second degree is fair? Because I don't think she planned it. Some people say, like, this was her whole plan all along. I think she was blackout drunk, and she was blackout drunk, and she passed out. But I do think that it takes a certain kind of asshole to allow another person to suffer, whether passed out or whether blackout drunk or sober. You know, most people wouldn't be able to sit there and listen to their loved one beg to be let out of a suitcase, sober or drunk. I also thought today Sarah Boone was looking a little haggard. She's looking like she's going through the paces. So it's probably just good for this to end for her too, so she can just get off and start doing her time wherever it is she's going to. Right? Okay.
That Mr. Torres was able to get his hand out. If you want me to do it, I'm fine to take your direction.
From what I remember, this is how the suitcase works. This was up here. This was not this hard either.
I bet it was.
This was like here.
Okay.
Right here.
Maybe get that paper clip out.
Oh, right there, ma'am?
Use it.
Sure.
Okay. I assume this one was much closer. It's not over there? Where'd you
You asked me where I zipped it.
when you say that was zipped shut, show us.
Are you talking about how I zipped it or?
When you're done zipping
Like
it
the
shut and he's inside of it, where are the zipper components?
Just tell me where it's at.
I mean, it was the corner. I mean, the corner was kind of open. I mean, it's not. Yes, this one was already pretty much, yes. From what I can remember. That's how he was coming with his hand out. It was like this from the corner part.
Okay. Thank you. You can return your seat.
Was that something that the state asked her to do? Or I can't remember. How did she even?
Did you ever change the position of those zippers once you put it in that position?
I did not.
That couldn't have been good for her. Looking through this with the juror's eyes, with her being up there.
So once he was zipped into there, there's some amount of time, but you don't remember specifically before you start taking the 2-minute video, correct?
Yes.
And then that's when you say what you say, and that's when he says what he says. We've all heard it, correct? And then between there, in that second video of the 22 seconds length, it's at this point where he's beginning to get angry. And then that's when you take the baseball bat that's in evidence, and your testimony is start poking him with the end of it.
Did you say this was the second video?
Between the two videos, that's when you started hitting with the bat because he was getting angry and trying to escape, correct?
Right, I was not hitting him, yes.
Okay. Did you ever hit him with the bat while he was outside of the suitcase?
No.
So each time that he is hit with the bat, it's through this suitcase. And that's what leaves the marks on him, because you didn't hit him with the bat outside of the suitcase, correct?
Yes, you'd like me to demonstrate.
No, that's okay. The suitcase will speak for itself.
he was going to demonstrate how she hit him with the bat.
And then you take the second video and you go upstairs and go to bed, correct?
I apparently went upstairs and I used the phone to make a phone call,
Okay.
and then I fell asleep.
All right. And at the point in time when you left and went upstairs, he was still inside the suitcase, correct?
Correct.
Was he still asking for you and calling your name?
Not that I can recall.
Did you say shh to him again?
I don't remember.
Did you tell him that this was his problem and it's on you again?
Don't remember.
Did you do anything to help him escape from the predicament that you zipped him up in?
No.
No other questions.
Any redirect examination?
Ms. Boone, he just asked you the question that you poked him and you didn't poke it. You poked, every time you poked him hard with the bat, he was inside the briefcase,
The suitcase, yes.
the suitcase. But you remember when he put his hand out, did you not hit him in the hand outside the suitcase?
Yes.
Okay, so that was the only time the bat touched Mr. Torres's body outside the suitcase.
Yes.
Was when you hit him with a hand. But all the other injuries were with you poking him pretty hard. I mean, you bruised your hand, correct? Doing that. Thank you. That's all I have.
Would you like her to demonstrate? Because I would. So let's pop back over to Emily and see if she got her situation settled and see if we can get some legal analysis
as she was leaving, and then we'll rewind to hear what the jury, how the jury was polled. Right, the jury was just like, whoop. So, Deb C asked, will his family speak to the press tonight? I heard they spoke to Court TV this morning. I can go look for that and see. Actually, Miguelina, will you look and see if you see that? I don't know if they'll speak tonight. I don't think I'd want to. This was an over 10-hour day for them. It's an incredibly exhausting day. So I wouldn't want to speak to the media after that long of a day. This is a long day. So she's getting re-rolled on her fingerprints. I just want to see if she tries to hug the deputy. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's where I'm at. I couldn't believe some of that body cam footage that we saw. So I am just, we're gonna see what's happening. She would have been fingerprinted originally. She's being re-fingerprinted tonight. So
she seems perfectly fine. Does she not? Like smiling and chatting, and she knew.
She does not seem all that flustered.
How could you not know?
Truly. So
that you would be found guilty.
Miguelina, is there one from this morning?
Although I'm kind of worried.
Back to the seal of the great state of Florida. Great seal of the state of Florida. At some point, we're going to have to take a poll of the best seals that we have seen, because there have been some great ones. So this one doesn't have a badger on it.
Come on, Emily,
give
us your knowledge.
So we're going to have to do that. So let me. Is there one, Miguelina? Is there one from this morning? I definitely don't want to go to a press conference. I don't think there is going to be a press conference this evening. But if we see the one from this morning, that would be amazing. So thank you, chat. Don't worry, we'll grab it, and then I'll answer some questions. And I told you I would catch you back up on where we're at with the counter. Don't worry, chat. We will. I told you. I said, are we going to get to 800K before the verdict or not? And I said, I thought verdict before. We're very close, but I thought verdict before. See what. Let's see. What, if anything?
Okay. Oh. There goes Mr. J.
I don't know if.
Ooh, that was the prosecutor. Botched that one.
Yeah, the prosecutor.
That one. That was the prosecutor, folks.
Really didn't love that.
Yeah.
I have no idea who you are. But that's okay. The prosecutor was just like, "What the fuck, man?"
Do you plan to appeal?
He's like, I'm the prosecutor. Why would I appeal?
Do you think your client received a fair trial?
I'm just like, what? I love him.
I don't have a client. Do you know who I am?
Best prosecutor.
YouTuber, but That's
I love her.
interesting. I don't know who this is, chat. So no, I do not.
Lots of justice.
Oh no, don't harass the victim's family. Nope.
Oh,
I just want to see if Owens makes a statement.
Any comment, Detective Capsule? Thank you.
But the prosecutor is not wrong. Do you know who I am? So we're gonna.
The fair trial.
We wanted to get to. Oh, he didn't even get out the
comments
door.
on the verdict? Do you feel like it was a fair trial?
That's
We're
rough.
disappointed. Sarah's disappointed, but we feel like she's got a couple of pretty good appellate issues, and just Sarah's flight's not over. So I'm sure, as y'all know, she's a fighter. I'm sure she'll be filing an appeal, but
and I'm sure he won't.
I wanted to hear what the defense had to say. Did you notice what he said? I'm sure she will be filing an appeal. He did not say, I will be filing an appeal. He didn't say that at all. He did not say at all, I will be filing an appeal.
She will be filing
Mr. Owens is done with this case the moment that this sentencing is done. The moment it's done.
Mitigating evidence. I think Dr. Harper will be testifying at the sentencing that I think is set early December 2nd, 1:30.
December 2nd.
So we'll be back up here for the sentencing. And hopefully Dr. Harper can go in a little more depth about some of the other issues, mental health issues that Sarah suffers from. And hopefully the court will consider that.
I would be very curious to know
What do you think the appropriate sentence should be?
a little bit
of
about
course, I'm
Sarah's
biased.
background.
So
Right.
I don't want to say because right now,
It's fair.
Other than
judge
she's
has
an
to make
A
the call,
plus
so
plus
I don't
plus
want
plus
to try to
student.
impose on his responsibility as the judge to ultimately decide what's fair to.
Well, that's a measured statement, Mr. Owens.
Right to say.
Did you talk to Sarah afterward, and what'd you say?
Just shocked. She's shocked. She felt like she had a defense, as you know, and so
She ran a
really
defense.
jumped. She said she would call me tomorrow morning, so we'll talk some more after she's had some time.
I think that's probably right.
Time to think about it, but we're obviously really disappointed. We did the best that we could, in the time that we had to prepare.
Sir,
Sarah really liked the team.
This was not about the
We all
time that you
got
had.
along with the 3 lawyers and the other 2 girls that helped the other lawyer, 4 lawyers.
Y'all
worked on
got
the case.
along.
Mhm.
Sarah was, as you know, really happy with us, and we had some
Mr.
disagreements
Owens, we would like you to call all the attorneys by their names and not their genders, please.
about how the case should proceed.
Lawyers, all the
Sarah,
lawyers.
is opinionated, and some of the things we considered, some not. But ultimately, I think she was happy.
I'm going to back this up real quick. She's opinionated is the part.
And Sarah was, as you know, really happy with us. And, we had some disagreements about how the case should proceed. And Sarah, was opinionated, and some of the things we considered, some not. But ultimately, I think she was happy with the defense. It just didn't go our way. As you know, these trials,
Oh
murder
no.
charge is a difficult case to beat. And
It
there was
froze.
some strong evidence that the state used, obviously. And we just, for whatever
Right.
reason, the jury didn't consider some of the things that we felt like should have potentially been defenses.
So I will take a moment to say, Owens has not even gotten all the way out of the door. You can see the door open to the side. He has not even gotten all the way out of the door from the courthouse before there were cameras and multiple news microphones in his face. But I will say the jury didn't consider for some reason. So I think the jury probably did consider. They just didn't agree. So I think they just didn't agree, truly.
That's why we use the force under the battered spouse syndrome. But for whatever reason, we respect the jury's decision. They've been here for
It's a measured statement.
2 weeks. It took us 4 days to pick the jury. And so I'm sure they did the very best that they could.
The lighting's great, though.
Was it her decision to not take the plea deal? You think she regrets it?
I don't think you can talk about that. That's very much
I don't
attorney-client
think
privilege.
She would have taken anything.
I think that's probably right.
Some clients, they want their day in court, and I don't believe she would have taken.
And she wanted that defense.
I felt like the state should have probably negotiated a little bit more, but they were firm on where they were.
What,
and Sarah was
15
firm on where She
years?
was. I just think
I think that's measured.
she was convinced in her mind that that she felt like
Sniff.
obviously she felt like she didn't intend to kill George.
Accurate.
What's a side
This was
sniff?
just-
It's a second-degree murder.
When you give a
Intent to kill
side
is not
sniff, you know you
crime,
don't
is the
believe
thing.
what you're saying.
And so I'm sure she felt like she didn't intend to
We
kill
don't
George. I
agree.
don't know if she did intend to kill George. I don't think she went into that intending to kill George. I think she went, fuck it, stay there. That's the second-degree murder. So
Yeah.
agreed. I think what she doesn't perceive is that you don't have to have that intent, sir. So I agree with him. I think his statements are very measured, though. I think he's been very careful. And I actually think his statement to the press here, though I don't agree with all of it, is more linear and easier to follow than his entire closing.
circumstance because they were both intoxicated, things happened that, you know, it was just really unintentional act. So I think she felt bad about any kind of
Suddenly he
murder,
becomes
intentional,
understandable.
she was somehow criminally responsible for George's death. And I think that mindset was.
I think he's right on that.
You know, I think she had gone to trial even without lawyers. You know, she was ready to go to trial. Pro. I think she was happy we came in. We worked as hard as we could. We had about 45 days to get ready. And
Sir,
I think they did about our efforts.
They put in a lot of effort.
So we put everything out on the table, just like any other contest. You know, you do the very best you can, and then you have to accept, you know, the decision by the jury. We respect the jury and appreciate their time and attention on the case.
I think those
Will
are
you be representing her on her appeal?
No, I think those are incredibly measured statements. I also think he did a very good job of expressing what he believed Sarah Boone's mindset to be without stepping into attorney-client privilege conversation. Where was this Owens in court? Owens, could you have just talked to the jury like this?
No, I'll be.
I'm going to back that up. The question was, will you be representing Sarah Boone on appeal? We already knew that was the answer.
So
it's a no.
Put everything out on the table, just like any other contest. You know, you do the very best you can, and then you have to accept, you know, the decision by the jury. We respect the jury and appreciate their time and attention on the case.
Will you be representing her on her appeal?
No, I'll be representing her at her sentencing.
Oh, he didn't even hesitate.
Not the appeal. I think she would qualify since she's
Done.
eligible for court-appointed appellate counsel. And those guys, that's all they do is appellate work. And
Is appellate work.
Probably the best lawyers to handle something like that. But
I don't disagree with him on that either.
I've heard other lawyers say that's why they
as I
don't
said, really disappointed. Sarah is kind of in
stay
shock.
with their clients.
But you know, we
I
respect
think
the
it's
jury's
money.
A measured
Thank y'all so much.
statement.
All right.
I think that was a
Well,
measured
that's
statement
all
to the media from Owens.
All right, thank you, man.
He didn't intend to give a press statement. The media was just there at the door. He didn't even get
I
out
think
of the
someone's
door. It
gonna
doesn't
grab
seem
him
that there's
for
even
a interview
a bundle
right there.
of the microphones. It just seemed that he got swarmed. And I think very measured statements given that.
Where? Over where? All right, let me just put my stuff right here.
And then the journalist for whatever channel that is
Yeah, he's
saying,
gonna
can
go
you
do
come
an
over here
interview.
to give another statement?
Like, where?
Which doesn't
Where?
surprise me, but
I'll go.
normally you have a media bay outside of the courthouse, so it's not chaos. So
I don't
you
think they
normally have
expected the jury to come back this
a media
fast.
bay, so it's not chaos. So as they're moving, I'm going to zoom in this a little bit because otherwise I'll just get motion sick looking at cameras walking, honestly. But generally, courthouses have a designated media
Let me see
area
if I can
where you
find
can
that,
do press conferences. So I'm surprised that everybody just wasn't there. Let's resume a media, like an area, like a media space, like a media, I say bay, like a loading bay, but like a little media area where they go. So give me 1 second because it looks like the other attorney gives a statement. Look for one other feed. Thank you, Miguelina. From we've got some, there. I saw microphones from some other outlets
see
out there, and I wanted to see if they had
any
any
of the media
angles on the second
outlets?
attorney speaking. So I'm going to be switching back and forth between feeds a little bit. I am definitely not as good at this as Hey JB over at WFLA, but you know, it's a dynamic evening and we're dynamic streamers because streaming is what, everybody? Dynamic. So let's go see what the other attorney has to say from one of the local media outlets. Thank you for grabbing this feed, Miguelina, because we can actually see the other attorney a little bit better. So I'm going to zoom to get to his statement because we can actually see his face.
Let's pop
So
over
I'm gonna
here
switch.
to Law Talk with Mike.
Faster. Somebody send it to me. Somebody send it to.
Let's see if he's
My God, this chat is fine. There's nothing going on, people. Thank you so much.
illegal.
I'm trying to do like the super chats, but it just keeps being more stuff.
Hold on a second, you guys. My laptop, I've got.
I feel good at this. And I think this is the first time I've done a whole trial and got the verdict. It's like complete. There's a playlist. It was almost like a semi-competent YouTube experience. We were there every day. I swore I wouldn't, but I did it.
Okay, well, you know what, you
Thank
guys,
you,
I
Kimby
think I'm gonna
63.
end it.
Thank you,
I don't
thank you.
think I see
This is the
anything else going on, and I don't see much chat going on either. So I think I am going to call it a night. I am going to, I think, go over this case more tomorrow. I'm going to start doing more daytime lives along with my nighttime lives. So I will see you guys tomorrow, okay? Oh, I'm trying to get my screen. There. Okay, guys. So if nobody's told you this, and Hollywood, thank you so much for being here. Chris C, Heavenly, thank you for moderating, and hi to everybody, and have a good night, you guys. If nobody's told you this today, and even if they have, I'm telling you this. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Hi, guys. Welcome to Parawomenradio. I'm Amy.
Carefully strumming this old guitar, words rolling out into the fire. Never ask why my heart burned blue. Here in the haze where you inspire me. Here in the darkness I hear my cue. Time to find some solitude. Here where my soul bleeds openly, deep in the heart of sin and you. Here in the blue, I'm falling deep into you. Here in the blue, I'm dancing with you tonight, and it feels fine. Carefully strumming this old guitar again, words rolling out into